ever get it, will they? Because they just can't learn otherwise, yeah? Yeah, so as we came up to the left-hand turn, if you have more control of me, there's 2 reference points on the left-hand turn. You've got to get me to steer towards you a bit,
Towards
yeah?
the stair curb, yeah.
Yeah. And then we need to pick up a reference point for the, so I don't encroach on the giveaway line. And then you could actually get me to pick up a reference point to make sure I don't run over the curb, yeah?
Yeah.
As I was coming out on the first couple of turns, you did actually spot that I wasn't looking in the way I was steering, which is really important, isn't it? But you weren't coming back at me and giving me the reasons why it's important.
I see.
So it's important to look the way you're steering, Tony.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you may not steer, or there could be a pedestrian crossing the road, and you're going to run that pedestrian over. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
So you want to start the routine a little bit earlier. I mean, we've got a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit here, so speed's not an issue in Luton normally, and they give you loads of warning where the emerges have come from. Yeah. I mean, I just had somebody on test here last Monday, and you know, she knew the emerges were coming up as soon as we turned into this road, really. Yeah. So you got plenty of time. Start talking me through the mirror signal, position, speed, look routine a little bit earlier. Yeah. So because I need to be getting that indicator on about 6 car lengths away. Yeah. And then you're going to eventually need to fill in the gaps about why it's important to get the indicator on 6 car lengths away. Yeah. And why sometimes it's important not to put the indicator on so early, yeah? Or it's also important not to put the indicator on 15 car lengths away, because people behind will be totally confused. They might just think I'm turning into a driveway or actually stopping on the left, and they might overtake me, and they overtake me and I'm not actually stopping. That could cause an accident, yeah? And there is occasions where I need to delay the signal, because you might want me to turn left at the emerge at the end of the road, and just before that there might be a left-hand turn. So I would have to delay my signal in that circumstance, yeah?
Yeah.
So we'll have a run down again. I'll give you a talk through on it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So you want me to do it, or?
Yeah, so I'll give you a bit of help on this one.
Okay then.
Right, so we've got the merge coming up the end of the road, so we're going to turn left.
Okay.
So you want to check your interior mirror, Tony, this is the speed. Check your left-hand door mirror to see if any cyclists come down the inside. If there was, we wouldn't pop the signal on, yeah? Now, once you come off the gas, cover the brake. And just bring the speed down, old man's walking pace. You could actually save and slip into first gear now. Now steer towards me, Tony, and just stop there, right? So just put the handbrake on, don't go anywhere until I say so. I want to talk to you about the reference points, yeah? So if you look to the right here, Tony, I know we haven't got a white line, but where does the curb, where the white line would be, cut into the car? Oh, just underneath the door mirror. Now you can see you've got nobody behind us at the moment, yeah? So you've got loads of chance to educate me here, yeah?
Yeah.
So you can see where does the white line cut into the car? Oh, just by the door mirror here. So that is your reference point, so you don't encroach over the white line, because if you do, and a car or a cyclist comes from your right, they're going to have to swerve around us, and they could well go into an oncoming car, yeah? Where does the curb cut in here, Tony? Oh, just by the tax disc. Right, that's your reference point, so when you pull away, you don't put the back wheels over the curb, yeah? So, we're going to look to the right. Now again, there's nobody behind us, so you've got loads of chance to get education in here. So we're going to look to the right. Is there anybody coming? No. Now if there was somebody coming, Tony, because we're turning out in front of them, we're going to have to get out and get some speed up so we don't force them to swerve slow or swear at us, yeah? So we need to be able to walk from here over to there and back again, yeah? Yeah? So look to the right, anybody coming? No. Look ahead, any pedestrians? No. Look to the left. There's a car coming, so we'll keep still because there's a car parked to the side of the road.
Yeah.
Now look to the right again. Anybody coming? No. Look ahead. Any pedestrians? No. Look to the left. No. And as you turn, Tony, make sure you're looking to the left. Yeah. So you'll actually steer in the direction that you're turning. Yeah. That's very important, because if you don't, and you're not looking the way you're steering, you may well run over a pedestrian. So we're going to turn left. So interior mirror. Left-hand door mirror, just checking for any bicycles on the inside there. If there was, we'd let them go, yeah? So just steer towards me, and if we just pause there, Tony, or stop there, I should say. Now again, where does the giveaway line come in? Oh, it comes in just underneath the door mirror. So again, that's your reference point, so you don't encroach over the white line, yeah? And can you remember what the dangers are encroaching over the white line? Oh, I might force somebody to swerve around me, and that might force them into an oncoming traffic. Right, we've got a car behind us now, Tony, so we check to the right, is it clear? There's nobody coming. Check ahead, any pedestrians? No. Check to the left, anybody coming? No. Quick check to the right again, and make sure you're looking to the left as you steer to the left. And that's very important, Tony, because if we're not looking in the way we're steering, we might not steer, we might run over a pedestrian. So, new road, we need to check the interior mirror, see if anybody's followed us, there is a car behind me, and check the right hand door mirror to see if anybody's overtaken us. If there was anybody's overtaken us, we'd let them go, because if we didn't, we may well force them into the path of that van or that blue car, yeah? And we're going to turn left. And we're going to turn left again. And we're going to stop on the So how did that feel?
Good. Marshall, very good.
Yeah, so it's not always going to happen, but at the end of the road there, I was lucky, there was nobody behind us, yeah? Take advantage of that, yeah? Don't have to rush out of the junction, there was nobody behind us. I managed to talk into the...
Explain everything.
Yeah, I managed to explain about the two reference points, and I managed to talk about the walk across, drive across rule, for turning left, yeah? And then the bits of information that I didn't get in when we got round onto the main road about the mirrors for the new road, I filled in the gaps there, yeah? Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions on that?
I know, that was good. Marshall.
Yeah? So, have you any idea where you're going wrong then on the test?
You mean this test?
No, on your
the actual
previous test, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm now quick enough to spread all the words out, isn't it?
Well, it's not
Control,
only...
isn't it?
Well,
So
it's not only being quick enough to get the words out.
so do you think it's the control then? Not controlling you.
Well, it's probably not the big one is the why, isn't it? They're not going to learn from saying, oh, check your interior mirror, check your left-hand door mirror. Okay, they might do it while you're telling them, but they don't know why they're doing it, do they?
Why they're doing it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you really need to
Consequence.
really need to fill in them blanks, yeah? Of telling them why they need to do it. Otherwise, they're never going to learn, yeah? So it's the what, why, how, and the consequence. They won't learn until you give them until you've given them three, yeah. Because don't forget, on this turning left and turning right and merging, they would have done left and right hand turns before, wouldn't they? So they would have used the mirror signal, position, speed, look, routine on the last lesson. But they're not going to transfer any knowledge on the mirror signal and on the position for the giveaway line, the centre line for left to centre, until they hear you explain
everything.
because they need to know that you know, because you weren't there on the last lesson. So if you're going to explain the left to centre line, how would you get me into that position a bit easier?
When we making a decision to turn right,
Yeah.
The first thing I have to do before I make you to check mirror, I think I'll slow you down.
Yeah, skip it to check the mirrors.
Yeah, check the mirror.
Yeah, and then put the indicator on.
Signal. Then after signal, I'll make you to drive toward the white line.
Yeah, yes, steer to me.
Yeah,
that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. And
steer to you.
yeah, and then when in the correct position, I'll stop you and then give you the reference point.
Well, you won't give me a reference point. You'll ask me to pick a reference point, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because obviously you can't actually set the reference point for me. You can just ask me where does the white line fit into the car, yeah? And then I'll actually pick a reference point.
That's what I mean,
Yeah, it's important you have a reference point for yourself, yeah?
Oh,
So you know how to judge it from your side, yeah?
okay. So according to that, Tony, so I need to know all the reference point for myself.
Well, you need the reference point for yourself, because obviously you can't talk me into that position if you don't, if you can't judge it yourself, yeah? It's the same way if you're teaching me to turn in the road, you need to pick reference points up on this car, so you can tell me when to stop, so I can pick up reference points. If you're not picking up the reference points to tell me when to stop to take the steers off, I could already have two wheels up on the curb, couldn't I? Yeah. So from where you're sitting, you can pick up reference points that actually help you, yeah. And the same way, just tell me then, ask me then to pick up a reference point, and I'll pick up a reference point that suits me, yeah. But if you talk me into the position and it's wrong, and I pick up a reference point, then it's going to be wrong all the way through the
That's true.
lesson, because I am actually picking up a reference point for the position you've talked me into. So if you haven't got me left to centre, or you've got me over the white line, then that's where I'm going to be every time, isn't it? So when you talk me into the position for left to centre, you need to give me a reason for being left to centre, don't you? So how would you go about giving me a reason?
We have to be in the left of the white line center, yeah?
Yeah.
So people know where we're going. So that is a part of our main signal.
Yeah.
So people know where we're going, and we shouldn't be over the white line, because if we do, then we under somebody else area, the vehicle coming towards us, they will not get through.
Right.
Yeah.
And what about if I was too far to the left?
Too far to the left, and then we're not in the right position for that turning right. People will overtake us. They will think we are going left.
Yeah, or they might just think I left the indicator on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if
They
people
will misjudge you, into
Yeah, so-
confuse the people.
Yeah. So come in with the big bang.
Yeah.
If I'm too far to the left and people overtake me, yeah, and I'm not turning left and I'm not parking, because I'm actually turning right, haven't I? What's the consequences there? What's going to happen?
You're confusing the people, into
It's a bit.
confusing the people.
It's a bit more to confusion, isn't it? If
You're
you think I'm
forcing
positioned,
people to overtake you. People will overtake you if they missed.
well, people are overtaking me, and I'm still actually intending to turn right.
Right,
Yeah.
you'll have an accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
They will hit you.
Yeah. That's the consequence, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
Yeah?
yeah. They will hit you. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a consequence of being too far over the white line, is that I'm going to be blocking the road, or somebody may come around the corner and hit me. Yeah. But if I'm too far to the left, there's also a consequence, because I've got a right-hand signal running.
Yeah.
They're getting confused because they think, oh, the press just left his
Forget the
indicator on.
signal on.
Yeah, and they think I'm just pulling up on the left. They got to overtake me.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of the fact they're overtaking me.
Overtaking you.
But I still want to turn right, so therefore
They will hit you.
they're overtaking me. I'm going to hit them, or they're going to hit me, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's really important to come in with a consequence. And once you come in with that consequence, then they will understand the importance of getting the left to centre, and they'll be very, very keen to get the left to centre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, the left to centre they would have done last week on right and left hand turns, but they need
Need it from this one, yeah.
to hear and see you teach it, and come up with the reasons why. And then when you do, they'll say, "Oh, that's very similar to what I've done last week."
Yeah.
And that's a lifeline to say that if you want to, you know, I'll take this off you. And you
So that I say you done it. You done your job.
well,
Is that what
well, you
mean,
can
yeah?
prompt them on the next one.
I see.
Or you can say to them, well, if you understand it, and you will only understand it if you've given them all the reasons why,
Yeah.
then you may well be able to say, well, you know, shall I just prompt you on the next one? Yeah. Because then you're checking that learning's taking place. And it's taking some of the pressure off you, because if you can get them to check the mirrors with a prompt, put the signal on with a prompt, and get the position for left to centre on a prompt, then on the next one, then all you got to say to him, right, so when are you going to signal? Or which mirror are you going to check first? Oh, the interior one. And which mirror are you going to check next? Oh, the right one. And why are you checking the right one? Oh, to make sure there's nobody overtaking me. And if there was, I would let them go. And why would you let them go? Because I may force them into the path of an oncoming car, yeah? So, if you prompted them on all this, you're not going to get a chance to ask them questions as you're approaching the merge. But after the merge, you could say to them, so why did you check your interior mirror? Why did you check the right-hand door mirror? And as you're driving around to the next emerge, because they can handle the drive round, you can get them. You can check their knowledge by saying, why did you check the right-hand door mirror? Oh, in case anybody was overtaking me. And what would you have done if somebody had been overtaking you? Oh, I'd have to let them go. And why would you have to let them go? Because I may force them into an oncoming car. Yeah. So then you know that they've got it. Yeah. So then that gives you just the basic ingredients of the emerge to work on, doesn't it? The positions, the reference points, and the walk across, drive across rule, yeah? And it gives you more time to remember that, they've got to be in first gear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Right, so we'll give that a pause for a minute.